All right, we're going to start the June 18th, 2024 meeting. We'll have the invocation by Brad Lomneck, Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Wilson. Please stand.
Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, Lord. Please help our commissioners and mayor do the good work of the city, Lord. Please protect our first responders and our citizens, Lord. May we do everything in your name, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson?
here.
Mayor Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Firstner?
Here.
Commissioner Oliver?
Here.
Okay, presentations, proclamation, Vision Zero Safety Action Plan, presentation by Metro Plan Orlando.
All right, well, good evening. My name is Mike Wilson. I'm a senior transportation planner with Metro Plan Orlando. And I am pitch hitting this evening for Sarah Larson, who I believe is held up in traffic. But I'm pretty familiar with this. I'm the regional, heading up the regional component of our Vision Zero plan. But for specific questions having to do with your own plan, I have Ryan Mansfield here from Kittleson Associates, who's been working on your plan in a more detailed manner. So any issues and questions, for that matter, I will punt to him. So Vision Zero, what is it? Well, it's a new paradigm, a different way of approaching safety for our region and really for the nation. And we're part of a broader Vision Zero network. The goal is to eliminate fatal and serious injury crashes, and then we set a time period for achieving that goal. And the way we do that is we take what's called the safe system approach, where we want to improve our road users, of course, so we want to have everyone be behaving safely. We want our vehicles to be safe. We want our speeds to be safe. We want to set speeds on our road system so that they're appropriate to the context and to the users of that system. We want our roads just generally to be safe, to be forgiving to mistakes, et cetera. And then there's the issue of post-crash care. If there is a crash, we want to be sure that emergency responders can get there in time and get people to the hospital with the care they need so that a serious injury doesn't become a fatality. Metro Plan Orlando was awarded a federal Safe Streets and Roads for All grant last year, $3.8 million worth. And with that, we're developing not only the regional plan, but all of your local plans as well, one for each of the 3 counties and all of the municipalities in the area, including the city of Ocoee's Safety Action Plan. And we're doing this as a partnership. We are, Metro Plan is developing all the core data, the crash data, as well as all kinds of templates for the local teams to use to streamline your effort at developing your plan. And so what we get out of this is not only a set of projects that will improve safety, but updating your standards and policies as well so that you're moving forward in a manner that is going to maximize your safety in coming years. The way we did this locally was having a city working group comprised of city staff. You can see the departments involved there. Then there's the crash analysis where your team takes the data that we developed and looks at it in more detail and how it reflects what you all want to see as far as your local plan. This was brought before your CRA in December of 23 for their review. We've done a lot of outreach. We've had our consultant teams out in all of our communities throughout the region, including here in Ocoee, and getting out there with social media. We have a comment map where people can place pins and identify problems. And you can see the whole list of things that we've done. So we've had a very rich public involvement as part of this effort. Unless I'm missing something, you can see that we've had some pop-up events such as your Jolly Jamboree and the fire department. And you can see we've developed, again, this is for a regional basis, we've developed an elected officials guide, so all elected officials have an idea of what they can do as elected officials to advance the Vision Zero effort. And you can see the other things that we've been working on. To give you an overview of Ocoee's, I'm everywhere, yeah. Ocoee's safety issues, 139 severe injury crashes and 18 fatalities over the 5-year period of our study. Bicyclists and pedestrians are involved in about 4% of crashes, but 37% of your serious injury and 60% of your fatal crashes. And you can see that a third of your serious and almost 3/4 of your fatal crashes involving either drugs or alcohol or distracted driving. So we've got a rate of 2.5 fatalities or serious injuries per month in Ocoee. For comparison, it's 0.4 in Winter Garden and 2.2 in Apopka. Your high injury network, so this is where we've looked at where the crashes are happening, and particularly focusing on those serious and fatal crashes. And I think this is where I would probably hand over to Ryan, because he's got more experience with your particular high injury network.
Yeah, so as you can see on the map, so I think over 50% of the serious injury crashes and 100% of the fatal crashes occurred on the high injury network. But it makes up only about or less than 8% of your city's roadways. So that's state road, county road, and city road combined. So the purpose of this is really just to identify what roadways do we want to focus on for projects. This is where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of investments. So that's kind of the purpose of identifying the high injury network. After reviewing the high injury network, we identified a list of projects. So these are the top 10 projects in order of rank. I won't walk through them all in detail, but basically we identified what types of countermeasures, which are typically just what we refer to as or safety improvements, different projects that we think would mitigate the crash types that we saw on these roadways or intersections. We developed what we call an opinion of probable cost, or similar to a cost estimate. This is a high-level planning estimate for what we think these projects would cost. So once this plan is complete, so this plan is currently in development, the goal of this plan is to be able to pursue federal funding from the Safe Streets for All grant. And so these costs will help with putting together that proposal for funding. So just to wrap up, so where we're at in the process, so we are currently working on the safety action plan right now. It's under development. Following a review of city staff, this will be made available to the commission for review and comment. And then our goal is to finalize the plan and be ready for adoption sometime in the August timeframe. So probably a future commission meeting in that timeframe. But that is it. If you can, unless there are any questions.
Anybody have any questions?
Mike, it's good to see you again, Ron. I haven't met you yet. I want to reiterate two things. One was the question I asked you at the MAC meeting, which was about your partnerships and your education partnerships. One of the things that I'm really pushing for, transportation safety, traffic safety, congestion, is a big issue in my district, District 1, which was, if you go back to the high injury network map, is up there, Project 10 that you have, Ocoee and Apopka from Silver Star to West Road, is the education. We need driver's education back in our high schools desperately. You didn't talk about it, but I've seen the data. These injuries and the increase in the injuries are highly correlated with 2004, when the legislature defunded driver's education. The second thing I want to point out, and it's unfortunate, this weekend we had an accident with 2 fatalities at Ocoee, Apopka, and Summershade, which is right outside my neighborhood, and it is north of West Road.
It is the segment of Ocoee from West Road to the boundary McCormick. You have to include that segment. That is where we had 2 fatalities in the last 2 years, and we just had 2 this weekend. That's the most dangerous segment where the traffic, the commuters coming from South Apopka, coming down Ocoee Apopka to get to West Road, to get to the 429, they're doing 60, 70 miles an hour down that road. That's the segment where you're having those high injury accidents. And so those are my comments, but thank you very much. And as you know, I just got on the MAC, and I'm very excited to be there. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. And so thank you, and I hope you'll work on that item 10, because we need that extended all the way to McCormick.
Yes, and I apologize, that slide cell number 10, number 10 it should have been updated, but the blue line has been extended. So we did get your comment. City staff did pass that along, so we have extended that project up to the city boundary. But yeah.
Well, that's exciting, because that was my first hour on MAC, was meeting with Sarah and Alex. So thank you for responding to that.
Absolutely.
It feels good to see you working on that, because it's a serious issue for us here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm just going to say thank you for undertaking this initiative. Unfortunately, I see many of my areas of my district on here, more than I want to see, and I really don't like to see the statistics that you just showed. We want that much lower. And I will thank you. I watched the first of the 2 series I did watch the Zoom call with Ms. Waddell, and I have not watched the second one yet, but I will. But thank you for bringing this to light. And again, the benefit to the concern I have besides fatalities and crashes is pedestrian traffic. Because in my district, there's a lot of pedestrians. And unfortunately, some of these higher figures, the options of probable costs, number 6 is pretty much part of my district. And I do share that district, but I'd like to give them the other higher number. But again, there's too many of mine on here. So I thank you for this initiative.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I think it's a great initiative, and I have to echo what the other 2 commissioners stated, that thank you so much for doing this and coming to the city to look at the fatalities and accidents that we have when it comes to pedestrians and motorists. My district is District 4, which Claricone-Ocoee Road goes right through that, and we have 3 major sections there where we have a lot of crashes at Clark and Claricone-Ocoee Road, as well as Ingram and Claricone-Ocoee Road along that stretch of road there. So as the commissioner stated, sometimes folks go through there doing 70, 80 miles an hour, and we need to do whatever we can to slow them down. And I think your initiative is going to be great. And once we actually morph into this, I believe you can start looking at more roads in the city to consider for this type of program. Thank you.
We just want to say thank you for the city and dealing with our staff too. We appreciate it very much. All the safety means a lot, so that's what we do.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you to Ginger for being our.
Where is Ginger? Oh, there
Right
you go.
here.
Thanks for Ginger. Stand up, Ginger. Let them know who our representative is. There you go. Thank you. We got more? Is that it? All right. Staff reports.
Thank you, Mayor. I have 2 items. One is that the Orange County Commission held a workshop today that we're waiting word from on how that went, and Attorney Ardeman has a brief update for you on that.
Glad to do that if you're ready, Mayor, Commissioners. Yeah, as you know, the commission authorized us to provide feedback to the county commission and county staff, and we did so through a memorandum, and I have a copy. If you haven't gotten a copy of that, I'll provide that to you tonight. Also, today, the county commission decided to hold the public hearing on July 30th to decide whether to put and what to put on the ballot, if at all. So with respect to the rural area charter amendment, there are some caveats. So we think we're going to be able to have the protections we need, but we have not seen the final language yet, so we'll keep you posted.
And Mayor, the second item is I'd like to call Mr. Steve Krug down to the podium for an update on the sidewalk program per the commission's direction.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Beautiful. Perfect. Just a quick update on the sidewalk program. To refresh everyone's memory for the replacement, the commission approved $300,000 to replace sidewalks throughout the city in this current budget. We've expended about $100,000, and you also recently approved another $200,000 to finish out the program. We're waiting on bonds because we've increased it. Once we get the bonds, we can start the rest of the work in about mid-July. And just wanted to share with you, on the city's website, on the front page, if you scroll down, you see a wonderful little button called Sidewalk Repairs. We're working on ways to let everyone know what's coming and what we've done. You can see a list of where we've done, what we have coming up, and as you scroll down, it goes down quite a ways. We have another list of shows completed repairs, and that list is quite long. We're working on also, we track this internally on a GIS system where we take our cell phones out with an app and we can mark it, the location, and all the quantities, and then we bring it back, download it to a spreadsheet and send it out to the contractors. We're working on a map that you can look at that online. However, right now it's a little cumbersome and it just doesn't visually look like can see what's going on. But we do have that going on. And really, this is where we're at. We're looking to, I'm going to hit you up for more money next year too, if we can afford it, so we can keep this going, because it's an ongoing thing within the city. Any questions?
I think it's a great tool for our residents. I think
We're
if we
working
get the
on-
word out, have we put out a press release regarding that? I don't think I've seen one.
I don't think we put a press release out.
I mean, we do have the news
We
feed
could.
on text, but, again, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that gets calls about sidewalks, because I'm in a more established district than a lot of other folks, so I have a lot more not a lot more. I don't want to get, I can hear it coming, but I can feel it. Again, older trees, older streets, older sidewalks, so you do get a lot of emails from me.
And that's fine, and that allows us to make a list that we can go and catalog them in, and hopefully that we'll be able to figure out a way to show the GIS system graphically on the website without it just looking like a huge picture with a lot of little dots. We're working on to make it more seamless, seeing how it can look better.
It's a lot of little dots.
Yeah, it makes it difficult sometimes.
It does, but thank you so much. I appreciate that being on there, because that does inform our residents.
Great.
Steve, I want to just thank you so
Wait-
much
wait a
for the
minute.
work. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm recording. He asked me first.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
That's a great idea, actually. You all should coordinate something on an announcement on Facebook, because that's where a lot of the conversation goes on about the sidewalks.
We can have
On the city website,
it out on the
point
city.
people to this link.
We can advertise that.
The rest of it does happen in calls and emails to commissioners. And we all have this problem. If you're in a newer section, then you're subject to, the administration that wanted an oak tree within 6 inches of every sidewalk. And so we're all suffering from it for one reason or another. And I think the communication is great. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner.
Yeah, Steve, I just want to thank you so much for the work you guys are doing with the sidewalk project. I know we've had some communication over the past couple of weeks. I had one of the citizens in Perry Lake gave you an extensive list of sidewalk repairs, and you actually jumped right on that, you and Kill. So I want to thank you so much for that and the feedback that we got from that list and the action that you guys took on it immediately. So again, thank you so much for the work you're doing in these sidewalks.
Sure thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. If we get ones that's not on there, we can still call you, right? Yeah,
He knows we're going to.
yeah. That it, Craig?
Nothing further, sir.
All right, we're gonna go to the comments from public hearing. No, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong page there, I got it turned over. We're gonna go to public comments. I'll start with Mr. George Darris. How you doing?
Which mic is better, this one? This one, right?
To the
Okay. Far. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is George Darius, Creative Director of the Fashion House Asset Clubhouse. To start, I want to thank Sergeant Wagner and Miss Melody for allowing me to acknowledge an officer who has impacted my life and shows me he's a great man of character. I'm gonna try to keep it short and brief. A good police officer should possess a range of qualities, including integrity, upholding the law and ethical standards without compromise, problem solving, analyzing situations quickly and coming up with effective solutions, teamwork, working well with others in the department and the community, resilience, handling stress and adversity with strength and composure, judgment, making sound decisions often in high-pressure situations. These are just a few qualities I observe in Officer Joshua Bodie. People will forget what you say. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. I never forgot. I commend your past Chief Brown, current Chief Ogburn, Sergeant Wagner, and all the others who influenced your training because it shows in your daily duties. I am an artist who combines art, fashion, and jewelry to create luxury conversational pieces. Over the years, I have collaborated with several professional athletes, musicians, and entertainers. As exciting as those experiences have been, nothing's bringing me more pleasure than presenting my show of appreciation to someone in our community. I stand here in front of your peers, your superiors, and board members representing the city of Ocoee to say, thank you for your service, Officer Bodie, a great man of character. Custom gold pen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll come around.
Move out of the way. Over there, that's good. Then go over there. Go ahead. Thanks. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Mr. Jim Moyer. Mr. Moyer.
Good evening. Happy Juneteenth. My name's Dr. Jim Moyer. I live in Arden Park. I missed the last city commission meeting, so I missed a visit from Senator Geraldine Thompson. I also missed the announcement that Lori Hart, who one of the Human Relations Commission former chair, received her doctorate degree. I'm very, very happy for her and her family. I'm the current chair of the Human Relations Diversity Board. I want to publicly thank UCF and Kavita Saul, who came and gave a presentation 2 months in a row. I also want to mention again that June is Pride Month. Also, it's Caribbean American Heritage Month. There are roughly 7,000 islands and cays that make up the Caribbean islands. 4,000 of them are part of Cuba. Cuba is the largest island, and it's the 3rd most populated. The most populated island is Hispaniola, that houses 2 countries, Haiti and Dominican Republic, the 2 most populated countries in the Caribbean. I also want to mention that next month is Disability Pride Month. I personally am a 100% disabled veteran. I just want to mention that a lot of disabilities are not visible. So please consider that. Thank you for your time, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Moyer. We're going to start the public comments with Ms. Peyton Grant. On the way up, you get 3 minutes of comments. We're going to go with five of the young school children here, and then we're going to do 2 adults. So, and let's, up front, I want everybody to understand, I am a big favorite of FFA. I spent 4 years in FFA in our school when we were in Ocoee High School. It was a big thing with Elmer Badger. I think if anybody has been around here all their life knew Elmer Badger, one of the best ag teachers I think I ever had in my life. So I just want you to know that I personally do think a lot of FFA. Spent a lot of time. It's good for, they had the speech, you know, and all the different things that they had. Something simple was that back in those days, they had a horseshoe pitching contest back in then. I won the state. Me and another guy won the doubles in the state one time. So it means a lot to me about FFA. So I just want you to know that. I know that everybody thinks and wants to talk, but I think if you have the 5 that can tell you what you want to hear, and we'll listen. So let's start off with you, all right?
Sir. Good evening, everyone. My name is Peyton Grant, and I've been in FFA for going on 5 years now. A lot of people don't know what FFA is, so just in case, I'll give everyone a quick synopsis. FFA is an organization that promotes premier leadership and allows students like me to venture out and experience different fields of agriculture. FFA is the club that raises your future farmer, your future governor, your future scientist, and all around your future leaders. FFA has allowed me to start my own journey, which has helped me explore different career paths, which I probably will end up pursuing in the near future. This year, I'm starting a restoration project of inshore game fish like red drum to replenish the dwindling populations in Florida. I also have started a breeding program of modern game bantam chickens. When you get a second, look them up, they're pretty cool. But I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to speak and advocate for my chapter. My 2 projects are just some of the many, many projects that my fellow members have started with the unwavering support from our community and our fabulous advisors, Amy Anderson, Travis Eisentrout, and Peter Jordan. At this time, if I could have my fellow FFA members please stand up and unzip your jackets. As you can see, The many pins inside of our jackets represents an opportunity that we were given to succeed. None of us would have these opportunities if it wasn't for FFA. This isn't just some club, it's a family. Every kid in one of these jackets is someone that you and I can rely on. Without FFA, the students here would have likely not found their place at Ocoee High School. Some of these members behind me were new to our school last year and joined FFA and have become interested in agriculture and were even recognized last week at the Florida FFA State Convention. Now, if I can also get your attention, and kind of look in front of you, there are a ton of plaques and trophies and all of our rewards for our tireless efforts. Each and every person that you see behind me today is in support of the Ocoee High School FFA chapter and agriculture education. The last thing that I would like to inform you all of is that this powerhouse of a chapter has put Ocoee on the map. The Ocoee High School FFA chapter is a nationally recognized chapter for the endless efforts of all of our members that you see. Side note, if any of you would like to see where your support goes, we would be pleased to have you all come out to our land lab and see the work that this chapter puts into the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You must be in the public speaking part of it. Ava Yarborough.
Good evening. My name is Ava Yarborough, and I currently serve as the president of the Ocoee High School FFA chapter and the Orange County FFA Federation Secretary. I have been an FFA member for 5 years now and have shown numerous livestock projects throughout my time at Ocoee High School. FFA has not only shaped me as a leader, giving me the confidence and support to stand in front of you today, but has also guided me towards future career paths and gained experiences that I'll share for a lifetime. As an incoming senior, I had hoped for a final school year dedicated to working with my livestock at our FFA chapter's land lab and hosting enriching events for the community there. However, I am deeply disappointed to learn that the only road access leading to our land lab and protected wildlife area surrounding us has not only been poorly evaluated by the city, but also sold to an individual planning substantial development. The onset of construction has led to the destruction of natural resources and has blocked any access to the road unless permission is granted through legal channels. An example of how this has affected us is by the increased waste at our land lab, which necessitates frequent dumpster replacements, yet the road closure hampers timely access. This disruption has severely affected my routine, my chapter, and our animals. The closure of the road has forced us to carry heavy bags of feed, weighing up to 50 pounds, and endless supplies from the back of the school to the land lab each day. This situation is not only physically straining, but also distressing for our parents who fear for the safety of their children. In fact, my very own mother is so concerned for my well-being that she has purchased a safety alarm for me to carry in case of emergency. No student or parent should have to worry about such matters when we are merely pursuing our passion for agriculture. Moreover, with the lack of privacy, we now face the intrusion of workers interacting with our animals and walkers on the Western Trail feeding them unknown substances. Additionally, displaced wildlife from the construction site is seeking refuge in our area, attacking our animals and causing significant financial losses. We no longer have the privacy necessary for the safety of our livestock projects. This situation is impacting not only our chapter members and their families, but also our dedicated advisors and teachers who strive daily to provide us with the best opportunities. But with these new restrictions, we feel helpless and unheard. Therefore, my question is this: why do you dismiss the concerns of an organization such as our highly recognized and award-winning FFA program, supported by the dedicated members, alumni, businesses, and citizens you see before you? Why do you treat the future generation with such little care? Why do you stand by without questioning such hasty decisions that have far-reaching consequences? Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Pierre.
FFA, an organization that is not just for students who want to be production farmers.
They welcome members who aspire to be teachers, doctors, scientists, business owners, and more. Hi, I'm Zaya Pierre, an upcoming senior at Ocoee High School. My junior year was my first year at Ocoee. I transferred from Oak Ridge High School. For 2 years, I never felt all the way connected, like I had a piece missing from my life. Coming into a new school, not knowing anybody, I was scared of not belonging and not being able to make new friends. FFA was the first place to make me feel welcomed with open arms. My second period teacher, Miss Anderson, approached me after observing me for a few days, telling me I have a bright future and she could see me excelling in the program she was a part of, FFA. I was very hesitant for a while because I was under the impression that FFA was just cows and farmers, and that people would see me as something I was not. And I'm never wrong, but this time I was. I gave it a chance and was soon consumed by it. This taught me to never judge a book by its cover. FFA has helped me explore so much: new careers, new skills, new opportunities to show my leadership, and my favorite, a chance for me to talk in front of a lot of people whenever I want. This program has changed my life. From going to States for Par Pro to winning second in States for OH Demo to the development of my chicken coop for next year, I've been handed so many opportunities and new experiences. This program is so important to the school, which is why we need the same respect as everyone else. The decisions made here will have long-lasting impacts to the community and Ocoee High School as a whole. Between the road that allows us access to our land, to the layout of our land, to the safety of our members, we want to protect our program. With these new apartments being built, we have future FFA members living right in those buildings, excited for our program. With our land lab being exposed, this is a harm to our animals and students, causing OCPS to have to fund for a new access point, additional security, unnecessary exposure, and less privacy. We strive to keep our members happy, safe, and educated, but that comes with the help of you. Supporting us young students to have a bright future, starting right outside of our school, the Ocoee High School Land Lab, the place that makes all of us one. So today, we are still the future farmers of America. We are also the future biologists, future chemists, future vets, future engineers, and future entrepreneurs of America too. I ask you to listen to us and find a compromise between growing the city of Ocoee, but also nurturing the needs of Ocoee High School. Once again, I'm Zaya Pierre, a fellow FFA member, and I appreciate you for this time.
Thank you. Madeline Young.
Hello, I just want to start off by saying thank you for your time. My name is Madeline Young, and I'm an upcoming senior at Ocoee High School. I decided to come up here and share my side as to why I think FFA is important and can help kids who are struggling mentally. When I was in middle school, I lost my spark. I lost that young girl who was inside of me who was always happy. I was always thinking about the worst things possible. And I became someone who was always angry, always arguing with my lovely mom, I'm so sorry, and always mad at the world and the people. I usually just felt alone, even though I had countless friends and people by my side. But that loneliness soon changed as soon as I joined this amazing group of people. My freshman year of high school. When I first joined, obviously I was super nervous, and it was quite noticeable. I was always shy, and I didn't talk to a single person the first few meetings. But over time, more and more people started to talk to me, and I found that it was really easy to relate to everybody who was in the room. Over a few years of being in that room for 3 consecutive years, I can say that I finally found my second family. I found my home. This family never fails to make me smile and never fails to support me in all of my decisions. They never fail to give me the biggest hugs or the biggest high fives if I win showmanship or brought an influence at our county show or even at a state like in Georgia. Which is why I believe the development next door may interfere with kids' opportunities to find a second family and ongoing life lessons that they will forever need. I also worry about the safety of both the kids and the animals once development occurs. I am worried in a sense that someone could easily jump the fence from the apartments or even from the West Orange Trail and come over into our yard and talk to one of the kids who are there, which can obviously lead to multiple different things. I am scared that something will happen to our animals. For example, when the development starts and if the water supplies get shut off, our animals need water every single day. Sometimes they need it twice a day, sometimes they need it 3 times a day. The buckets always need to be filled up. If they're not filled up, they can go into a heat stroke, even with fans being on, because as you know, in Florida, it gets very hot. It was 110 degrees outside last time I was out there. I was very, very uncomfortable, by the way. So I encourage everyone to consider these possibilities with these current developments. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. Amy Anderson.
Before I start, I would like to thank all the commissioners for allowing my students to be heard. I think it's important that they hear that. My name is Amy Anderson, and I'm one of 3 agricultural educators at Ocoee High School. And while I don't live in the city of Ocoee, I do consider myself a member of this community. I'm a graduate of the University of Florida and have degrees in animal science and agricultural education. I started my teaching career at Ocoee Middle School, where I spent 16 years building and creating one of the best middle school ag programs in Orange County. 8 years ago, I moved to Ocoee High School as the program was growing and expanding into more than just a horticulture program. Our program has tripled in size due to student interest, and our program now includes 3 teachers who specialize in animal science, aquaculture, and horticulture. We have even established a student-ran dog daycare program called Knight's Kennel. Our FFA students work hard in all aspects of agriculture. We were recently recognized as one of Florida's finest FFA chapters and will receive ranking as a nationally recognized chapter in October. In addition to that, this year alone, we had 4 top 5 teams in the state, including vegetable judging, ornamental horticulture, environmental science, and ag sales. We had a top 4 proficiency finalist in goat production, as well as a parliamentary procedure team that competed at state finals. In addition to career development events, I'm a firm believer of giving my students opportunities. If they are motivated and driven to do something, I want to encourage them to work hard and help them reach those goals. That often means trailing them in their animal projects all over the state every weekend so that they can get practice time in the show arena. Our students invest in these animal projects each year and use money made to contribute to their education after graduation. Due to the area we live in, our students would not be able to raise livestock and show it, as land in our area is a luxury that most cannot afford. The question has been asked, what does an agriculture program look like? Agriculture programs are not cookie-cutter programs. It depends on the leadership of the program, the needs and wants of the students, and the numbers. Our program has grown along with the interest of our students. These projects are an integral part of our program. In an age where most teenagers are inside glued to social media, ours are not. They are learning to be good stewards of the land, to have respect for all living things, responsibility, discipline, hard work, marketing, record keeping, animal husbandry, and feed management skills. More importantly, our program is making them good human beings. I believe in this program and the students in it. I choose to be at Ocoee High School because I love the students in this community. The decisions that you make affect students in our community, their parents, and their family members. The safety of our students and their investments have been compromised, and we are now faced with hardships and challenges in accessing our land lab. I have taught in this community for 24 years. I have seen the changes. I have taught daughters, sons, brothers, sisters, and cousins. I believe in the future of agriculture because it's what feeds and clothes everyone in this room. I believe in all these students standing before you in these blue jackets, and I hope that you will not allow this program and its students, which are thriving, to be compromised in the midst of development. Thank you.
Thomas Lightbody.
Good evening. My name is Thomas Lightbody, and today I stand before you in support of the Ocoee FFA program at Ocoee High School. As you have heard from others, the adjacent development to the north of the school is not only causing issues to the program, but in my opinion, severely threatens the existence of the Ocoee FFA program itself. In full disclosure, I have a personal animal at the school that I leased to one of the amazing students of the program, and when I heard that they were no longer able to drive on property and simply feed their animal, I immediately went into an investigative mode as to the why. As I have a background in land development, I pulled the full set of development plans and come to find out that the access road that Ocoee High School itself has been using since 2005 was in fact previously owned by the city of Ocoee and not OCPS.
When the property was sold to the developer, unfortunately, that developer was given permission per the approved development plans by the city of Ocoee to completely do away with that access road in its decades-old configuration, and unfortunately, in doing so, cut off vital access to the Ocoee FFA program. In its current approved state, the approved fencing and parking lot/roadway leading into the Crown Point mixed-use project will completely block access to the Ocoee FFA program. No access to bring in feed, no access to bring in hay, no access to trailer animals on and off site as part of the rich and amazing Ocoee FFA agricultural educational program, and no access to use the land that has been utilized in its existing state for the last almost 2 decades. We are sincerely asking for your help. Ocoee High School is a family, and the FFA program has won a multitude of state titles, competed at the state level, and has been recognized as a national chapter several times. A few short years ago, they even had one of their members nominated and voted to serve on the Florida FFA state officer team, an honor that very few schools in the state can lay claim to. I wish I had time today to tell you what the blue corduroy jacket means to me, or how many lives I have seen it changed. But instead, I will say this. It says in the FFA Creed, I believe in the future of agriculture with a faith born not of words but of deeds, achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists, in the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. We are in that time of struggle, and we need your help. We are absolutely not asking for the development to stop, but to ask for your assistance in working together with the school system and the developers so that Ocoee High School can continue to properly use their land and to continue educating and molding your future leaders of tomorrow. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. I think every one of you got the public speaking thing. So that is good rapport, every one of you. Every one of you did an excellent job, so be proud of that. You did great. So what we're going to do now is let the assistant city manager going to give you some information on what we have to do.
I'll just weigh in very briefly, Mayor. Thank you. And I normally don't depart from decorum like this, but I'm just blown away by the outstanding students that showed up here tonight. And I grew up on a second-generation dairy farm in North Georgia, and I actually was very intrigued to hear about the Red Drum restocking program. I actually published in college in the American Journal of Ichthyology and Herpetology. So I have a connection to all things ag and biological, just out of sheer love. I think there's some major misinformation going on that got started because, unfortunately, this construction project started and there wasn't a lot of communication going on back to the school and so on and so forth. There's several things going on here. The first thing I want to tell the commission is that there is no intent from the city or from the developer to harm this program. And that doesn't mean inconvenience has not already been laid down. I want to explain for the benefit of the commission and the audience a little bit about this. The city entered into a PUD with Orange County Public Schools and with Orange County when we all got together and acquired all this land up at Crown Point. Long time ago, before I even got here. I was probably still doing lizard research at the time. And they agreed on a zoning land use plan called a PUD land use plan. And so it's always been contemplated that there was going to be development up here. And unfortunately, one of the uses, and I'm not going to throw the school board under the bus because it affects what I'm about to say. We've been coordinating very hard with the developer and school board personnel to address this. I know there's a design to provide that necessary access. And we have meetings planned this week. Mr. Rumor, our Development Service Director, was on the phone with the attorney for the school board today. I've had several calls in the last couple of weeks, personally with Attorney Chris Wilson, who represents Orange County Public Schools. We are trying to get this worked out so that it works out. Before I go any further, though, I wanted to point out, in this land use plan, there was never, and I'm not pointing fingers at the school board because we work very closely with the school board personnel. But this was, one thing that could have happened is when this thing started, and apparently it started and just grew into this wonderful thing that you guys came and talked to us about tonight. And I'm truly touched by all the testimony here. But what should have happened is we should have had a PUD amendment from Orange County Schools saying, hey, we want to have an agricultural research center here associated with the high school, which would trigger a site plan, which would require us to look at all the water and sewer, the buffering, so it could have been planned to accommodate for any future development from additional property owners. So now what's happening is we're having to deal with that all at one time at the inconvenience of this great program. What I will tell the commission is that we have hopes of getting that resolved this week as far as the plan goes. I know the developer, and it's a really good developer. They want to make this work. I believe they've already designed the access, so it's a matter of us working with Orange County Public Schools to go ahead and get the construction and do the payout for that. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I do want to make sure everyone here understands that we are working very hard to try to get this resolved this week. And Mr. Roomer, if you have anything you want to add, I think I pretty much covered it, but I appreciate everybody coming out. This is the process at work. And we have a youth council that our illustrious city clerk is the liaison to, and we would encourage you to become a part of that, especially such outstanding young speakers and students. But that hopefully clarifies the issue. The issue is the access has been cut off. This farm did not go through any kind of a process way back when that was part of the PUD. So it's having to be shoehorned back in, and that's what our staff is working with Orange County Public Schools staff to work out. We're kind of having to do this after the fact. It wasn't allowed use on the PUD, and there was even a bathroom put in back there that we knew nothing about. We didn't know the extent. And there is a sovereignty issue with Orange County Public Schools, but by the nature of the fact that we entered into this agreement, we're at the table discussing it. And
There's no restroom.
oh, there's not a restroom? What is the water and sewer?
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry. Well, Mike, do you want to, I don't know what the water and sewer issue was that was raised.
Yeah, I wasn't in the meeting, but apparently there was just some sewer lines from the school run that weren't permitted that are in the way as well. That's,
Okay, we had to cut some water off, or the developer had to cut some water off. But, Mike, do you want to just update them on the
just one
schedule
additional item
coming
is
up?
we've had to, in discussions with OCPS, the tech school access point changed locations of future driveways. So we've had to, run quickly with the tech school permitting and construction. That changed some things of how the original PUD was originally designed. So the road had to curve to the north because of the access points to the tech school. And so, yes, we have ongoing dialogue with the school board. The construction of the site, which was in the PUD, was a village town center from the 2000s. And sort of this crown point has three pillars of what made this unique planned development. It's the Lakeside Park, which we're under design up on Lake Apopka. It was the school, and then it was this village town center where the roundabout is. Now that village town center just happens to 24 years later start to develop. But we are in constant contact with the school board. The developer waited for the school year to end to begin construction. They have to construct the land that they are driving on is a future road. They have to close that off. They're providing for access in the meantime, but they have to run a lot of water and sewer and move fire hydrants. And so we have weekly meetings, and we'll continue to have weekly meetings and work towards a good resolution. Thank you.
Scott, Greg, you have any more?
No, I'm good. We're on top of it, and we can keep the commission in the loop. But this matter is being worked on daily between staff and school board and the developer.
Do you want to have something to say again, ma'am?
No, I think that we appreciate the fact that you guys are trying to accommodate us. I know my students do, and I just think that they just wanted to be heard. And I think you listening to them means a lot for them.
Anybody else have any comments for,
I think Craig answered most of it.
I think Craig.
I hope that our staff will be in touch with whoever you've got that's got to be talked to, and we can get this process. Nobody's wanting not to be there. It's just got to go through.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you deal with land deals, sir, you know too, that don't always run straight up, straight down. So as I said, I truly, he was just telling me he spent 4 years with Mr. Badger also. So I will tell you that it was 4 years of good stuff. I learned how to do things that never would have been able to do. But it's also good to see the young people involved and being in this, and it leads to future things. I know that for a fact. So I'm not against it. I'm for it. So, but everybody needs to understand, when you do these processes, it goes through not just us, it goes through the school board. I will tell you that, and I know Craig knows, years ago when we sold land back, we bought that property at a really good price, but we let the county get it at that same price. So they need to listen to us sometimes too. So it's a little hard sometimes, but we'll make sure that Craig and Mike Rumor, is that who's working on it, Craig?
Yes, sir.
Somehow or other, we'll get it worked out for you.
Thank you.
See. Wait, you can't talk from the chairs, okay? You want to come up to the podium? Okay, then you got to fill a form out.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
I just have a quick question. I'm Sharon, and my daughter was in FFA, but are these OCPS meetings open to the public?
I don't know about the
These
school
are
board.
staff level meetings, so, there's no yes or no to that. They don't typically,
But
it's not the same as having elected officials in the room, so they're private meetings between staff.
Yeah, we're talking about items on the closeout of the tech school.
Right.
As well, so there's multiple items on the staff agenda.
But there's nothing wrong with you taking it and going to the school board.
Yeah.
Do the
Right.
same
Right.
thing.
Absolutely.
Go to the school board.
This week, you think?
I don't. I don't-
Okay.
All right. Anybody else? You got to fill out a form too. You can't, well, come up. I'm going to let a few people talk, so that's kind of, I'm not going to let everybody. So. If it's nothing that is it something we haven't talked about?
Well, it is what we're talking about.
What?
First of all, I like to say good evening.
Speak into the mic, sir, over there.
I like to say good evening.
One next to you right there.
Oh, this is better.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like to say good evening, and my name is Douglas Hollowbeck. I'm a retired land surveyor and engineer. I've been engineer one with the state of Florida. I've done some major designs through roadways throughout the area. And I am concerned with the traffic studies and the safety. Now, I've taught over at Valencia Community College, and I actually initiated that program for the surveyors, which is accredited by the state of Florida. Now, what I'm seeing here is that we've got a lot of traffic that is backing up on, that's Crown Point Parkway. It's hard, I'm new to the area. I've lived in the area for 36 years as practicing land surveyor, registered. And I've seen a lot of different things. I've worked with traffic engineers, I've worked with utilities, companies and architects and designers. And I coordinated with the different departments, the South Waters Management District, the St. John's Management District. Now, I had called it to their attention that there could be a possible problem with the outfall from the lake. And this could be a drainage issue. Now, I like to say the FFA, they did an amazing job in bringing out some points. And one of the points that I thought was very interesting was their access through the areas there. Now, they may have prescriptive rights, and those rights should be looked at. And I would refer that to your attorney here to look into that matter. As for to maintain their access, they should have that access preserved if it's been done for a certain length of time. I don't know the time period, but I do know that there are certain rights that should be abided by the state of Florida. And the book that I worked with was the Green Book from the state of Florida, and the main thing that they emphasize is safety. And I see some of the roadways that are going in, and I don't see the approaches, the accelerations and deceleration lanes. Also, the radiuses for some of the roads, like on the Fuller's Crossing of Popka Road. You've got truck traffic going through their 18-wheelers. You've got to have a 50-foot radius. And I see those, the cars have to back up because of this. And I know that there's a lot of development and you're trying to get a lot done at the same time, but I think these are matters that need to be looked at. Not only at that road, but there are some other roads that have the same problem.
All right, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
I will also tell you that when this development came to the city, you weren't here. They brought the engineers, they brought the traffic studies we don't do it without that. I also understand about the traffic because all of us, I don't know if any of you in here live up on the north side by Popka. There is some, but Popka has built thousands of apartments and houses, and guess where they come? They come down through Ocoee on Ocoee-Popka Road. And I can't do anything, or we can't do anything with them about it. So that's up to the county. But also, you get to talking about the rights, and I'm not a lawyer, but I can tell you when you do that, you're gonna talk, you better plug your ears. You're gonna talk about more money. So we're sitting here trying to tell you that we're gonna work to try to solve this problem. Now, if you wanna go get a lawyer and start fighting over who's got the rights or not, that might delay it. So I'm telling you that this city's gonna try to make the problem go away. So you take it from whatever you want to. We wanna help. But that, when you bring in that kind of stuff, like I said, when we have these pre-meetings, they do the engineered, sir, the stormwater drainage. They also do the traffic study. It has to go under a certain number of traffic. So just to let you know that that's been done. But I believe that this city will work to do and solve the problems. So take it from there.
Mayor, if I could, just, the PUD had a requirement for 2 roads which are under construction. So the road adjacent to the high school is going to connect to Ocoee-Popka Road in the roundabout. So that'll provide another feeder so people don't have to use Crown Point. And then behind the high school, the Crown Point Parkway is going to extend all the way to Fuller's Cross. The first leg of that is constructed with the tech school, and the other missing portion over the trail is being designed now. So you will be able to access the high school without having to go onto West Road or Ocoee-Popka. So, and that's under construction and now.
But one of the things that I asked you, the county put the technical center in, but there's no turn lane. There's no turn lanes into that. They're gonna build them?
Yes.
They'll need to. All right, so that's, whoever's gonna be the teacher or one of the adults, the parents can get with our staff. Mike, give me a card, something, and then we'll see what we can do to fix this problem. And you young pupils did a great job, and you're doing a great job. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We're gonna take a 5-minute break where everybody can, if they need to leave, they can leave. 5-minute break. Kevin McGuire, did he leave? Kevin McGuire. Huh? All right, I'll let you call him. Okay. The other one is, Brad Lombeck. Then I'll get you, Mr. Young.
I brought show and tells today. All right. Just hit the space bar or what? Okay,
Yes.
got it. All right. Heck, how do you follow that? Golly. Thanks for the break, though. Good evening, Commissioners and Mayor. Brad Lomneck, Vice President, Veronica Place HOA. I come to you tonight representing over 200 homes between Admiral Point. Anybody from Admiral Point here tonight? Oh, look. Between Admiral Point and Veronica Place. We have homeowners, other homeowners tonight in the audience. Our neighborhood borders Orlando Avenue and Montgomery Avenue. We believe that intersection possesses a major safety concern. In the past few years, traffic has increased to the point that during certain hours of the day, crossing the street on foot or car can be almost like mission impossible. Please watch this quick video to see how treacherous it can be. Now, I don't know about the quality of this video. I didn't take it, but I'm going to show it. So as you can see, this gentleman here is trying to cross the road. You got cars coming through. He's trying to get across the other side of Orlando Avenue there. It's this is like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not even at 5 or 6 when the traffic is stacked up. So the other issues with this intersection is you see somebody had to stop for him to get through. That's dangerous. That's how somebody can die. The other part of this intersection is there's a big AT&T box on one side. You have to go almost all the way into the road so you can see oncoming traffic that's coming on Orlando Avenue from Clark Road. So it's bad. The second issue that's troubling our residents is the condition of Montgomery Avenue north of Orlando Avenue. We've watched in the past few years other areas of our district get upgrades to roads, sidewalks, and landscaping. The residents would like to see this area addressed. This is the stretch between Montgomery Avenue, between Orlando Avenue and Admiral Point. At one point, there was maybe some irrigation put there and crepe myrtles. Those crepe myrtles are not really being taken care of properly, and it just looks, it doesn't look great. The progress happening on the south side of Montgomery Avenue, where you can see the roundabouts being done, there's being a lot more time taken for that. So we understand this takes time and money to make these issues satisfactory. Tonight, we ask the commission to direct staff on these two issues. First, and most importantly, to look at changing Orlando Avenue and Montgomery Avenue from a two-way to a four-way stop. Accidents at the intersection are on the rise, and citizens' safety crossing the road should be our number one priority. Secondly, we ask you to direct staff to meet us on Montgomery Avenue between Admiral Point and Veronica Place to look at ways to upgrade that area to match the south side of Montgomery Avenue. Lastly, we understand the beautification comes with maintenance costs. Our goal is not to saddle the city with additional yearly burden, but change the way this area looks where it doesn't cost $1 million. Thank you for your consideration. Please help us make Montgomery and Orlando Avenue safe for our neighbors and our citizens. Thank you.
All right, commissioners can discuss this. I'm going to go to the commissioner first.
Thank you.
Commissioner Wilson.
I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. I've been talking about it up here for a while. There is no water, first of all. There is no water down Montgomery, just so you know that. Let me clarify something too. You talked about the roundabout. The roundabout's in the... No, you mentioned the roundabout on the other end of Montgomery.
I did.
Okay. I got you, thank you. That roundabout to Blackwood is in the CRA. If you don't know what the CRA is, it's a different pot of money. Okay, so it's hard to bring that into, we're talking two different issues, okay? That money is Highway 50, anything in the CRA is a whole nother amount of money. I agree with you. There isn't, and I've been dealing with this for the last 16 years because, and I'm not gonna say prior to me, they slapped those crepe myrtles in. We go down, we clean them up periodically. They don't look good. I agree with you. I at this point want to do some investigating too, because something came to me today thinking about this, is Veronica Circle. What is in their development plan? In your development, see, that's something, there's a little more involved here because. No, we're gonna find out. Do you know what, have you seen the, do you know?
We've asked several times and nobody knows.
Nobody knows, okay, well, see, this is where, when, I think Lori's gonna speak later, but I don't know if you are or not. But, I wanna go ahead and investigate that, because that came to me today. What's in the development plan? That was when Veronica was established, what was in there? Because other neighborhoods have development plans which require the maintenance of certain things to be as in Admiral's Point, their responsibility. So and then also you're looking at the townhomes on the other side of the street. So it's not just one neighborhood, it's really Veronica Circle and townhomes, because you've got two sides there. Yes, some of the crepe myrtles around that, one of the AT&T or whatever that box is there, look horrible. I know that. And I think during this budget session, we should be looking at that in the workshop. As for a four-way stop, that's an arterial road. I don't know, Steve probably has more information on that because there's that lovely green book that was mentioned earlier.
Well,
So, again, there's a lot, it's not just going in and putting a four-way stop, it's just not going in, putting crepe myrtles. The thing is, you gotta put something that doesn't require the irrigation. And you've gotta have the responsibility the first 30, 45 days to water them to make sure that they establish, so that you do have, I would love to see the crepe myrtle trees.
all right,
Not in that area. I checked with,
all right, hold on.
I
Hold on.
checked with utilities today, and there is no irrigation in there. There is no irrigation.
Okay, go
That
ahead,
is,
finish.
okay, there is no irrigation according to the utility department. Maybe there's some private irrigation that's coming from some houses there, but there is none there. And there's many more issues, and I don't want to go into them, because there's bond issues, that who's paying for the water, if the water went in. There's just a lot involved. And I think during budget session, we should be able to look at some of this and see what we can do, because it's, as for the beautification, there's also, if someone wants to put in for the grants that we put every year, to put something in there, that's another suggestion we have, because if you have never put one in for there, every other year you can put in for a beautification grant with our, I'm hearing something, but it's with Joy Wright who handles that, our program support services. So that's another option that I think we need to look at and put our heads together, but we also need to include the townhomes. Because if you're looking for something on both sides, part of it is maybe under their development plan. So am I speaking wrong, Craig? Am I missing anything?
Yeah.
I think you've covered most of the options we're looking at, so.
You too?
See,
Those
yeah.
are easy investigations for us to do and bring something back to the commission.
I'm gonna make a couple comments, and you're exactly right, we've all talked about it, but one of the things we need to do, the city needs to take advantage, and that, I don't care if it's the arterial road or not, that's a dangerous place there, because the city allowed the walls to be put on those corners on that, and that's a dangerous place to get out of. I know for sure, because my son, and I've always told my granddaughter not to be driving out of there without stopping and looking both ways and then back the other way. But there is no reason why, with water running down through there, we can't hook up. I'm not worried about the water project. We there's water, city water that runs there, those apartments, runs in, where he lives, and there, so we can hook water up. There's not a problem there. It's, we need to get together and do the landscaping down through there. I know, like I said, even taking the discretionary money, some of that, and give it to it where we can put that in and work. I think if we did it as a project where all three places work together to get that, we can work and get it done. You take I know Lake Olympia condos and Admiral Point and Victoria Place, we can get it done if we all work together on a project to get it done.
I agree.
But I'm telling you, the traffic problem, and I hear everybody up here talk about the different things about accidents on the roads and stuff like that. That is an accident waiting to happen. That has to be fixed. Now, and we talked about not lowering the speed limit.
Yeah.
So if you put that there, that breaks it in the traffic. Maybe that's not it, but I'm telling you that's a dangerous corner because of Lake Olympia's wall, their subdivision's wall. You can't get out there, and then there's bushes, so it's just dangerous. So that's a project that needs to be worked on, but I think we can work on getting together and coming up with some stuff to do the landscaping and decorate more down through that thing. But I know you wanted to do that before too.
I've wanted
So
done.
I think if we got everybody working together, all three areas, and we'll have to meet and talk with the Lake Olympia homeowners, because they own them in there, and I think there's a lot of rentals in there now. But that's what I think, so. Anybody else? You get 3 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Gary Smith. I'm the president of the HOA for Admiral Point. I know Rosemary had mentioned something about no irrigation down on Montgomery, but I'm pretty sure there is irrigation there. I remember many of years ago, and maybe Mr. Krug can verify that, but there was drip irrigation that was put down Montgomery for those crepe myrtles. And I know that we had worked with Steve and met with him many years ago to help beautify that area there. And the city came in and put the drip irrigation in and put the crepe myrtles. So I'm pretty sure there is irrigation there. And if I'm also correct in assuming too, there's a reclaim line, and I know that there's an issue with reclaimed water right now, but there's a reclaim line down Montgomery just waiting to get into Admiral Point. So there is irrigation supposedly there, and I don't know if Steve can verify that or not.
All I can speak is to what utilities told me today.
Yeah, well, years ago, we had the same problem with Montgomery and being revitalized, and we got a hold of Steve, and we met with him, and they were gracious enough to put the crepe myrtles on there, and I know for a fact that there is drip irrigation there, so.
And Gary, there was my first predecessor that actually installed the crepe myrtles. We've tried to help them survive. We're totally unaware of any drip system in there.
Yeah.
If it exists, it's not been there since in the past 18 years I've been here. But talking with their utilities, the reclaim line does stub out up at White Road. However, then unfortunately the water line, there's nothing right there. I mean, we'd have to run a whole irrigation system because the water line that feeds Admiral Point goes through Veronica Circle. Nothing goes right down Montgomery. But I mean, it's just a matter of cost. Anything can be done for the right amount of money. It's just, well, how much do you want?
Well, wait a minute now. Irrigation pipe's not the same kind of pipe as a water pipe. Water's up in front of the subdivision.
And it goes.
Coming off,
the
White
water,
Road.
I checked
So
on.
you tie into that and you go
Right.
with the PVC pipes down the line.
Correct. I'm just saying, there's water, there's not running down
Let's-
Montgomery that's
Yeah, I
easy
know.
to access. There will be,
Let's see if we can find a way to, and our utilities department can find out if there's a water line in there.
we checked today. We did.
Okay,
And
but I'm
that's,
just saying, you can
kind of,
look
this is
at-
the most up-to-date
you can put the
information.
sprinkler system in from, up at the front.
Right.
That's,
And it's,
I'm
we
saying,
can do
we all
anything,
get
it's just a
together and
matter of
come figure it out.
bringing the cost back to
Yeah.
the commission.
Alright.
And we can look, we'll also look at the intersection.
Yeah, the intersection is the main part of it.
Yeah.
That's the main problem. Yeah,
We've been talking about.
just
that.
like,
We've been
so,
talking about that.
let's, okay,
Do we need a consensus to
yeah,
direct
are you,
staff?
you need to talk again? No. Okay, good.
I'm correct with them talking about it at budget session, so it's.
Yeah, no, I brought, that's what I said, yeah, huh? Okay, you wanna say something real quick, right?
I think, yeah, thank you. I think that's fine to discuss budget for the beautification and the budget workshops. But the safety issue, I'd like to go ahead and get a consensus for staff to begin looking at that intersection and report to us.
Who's, I can't second it, cause I'm,
We just need a consensus, right? Not a
well,
vote.
let's do, you wanna do a consensus or you wanna do a motion?
Well, I think.
Just a consensus.
All right,
Consensus.
everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, Craig. Consensus is we're gonna work on the road first, get the stop sign. And, I heard through the grapevine that Brad Lomnick's gonna be the school crossing guard there at that. We gotta get a big yellow jacket.
Yeah, we'll make Cooper do it.
All right, okay, is that all right? So we'll try to work on both. All right, thank you for coming out tonight. So, all right, let me get back where we're at here now. Woo-hoo. All right, Mr. Young.
That's me.
Come on up. You got 3 minutes also.
I don't need all that. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Young. I am pastor of Tabernacle of Glory right here in Ocoee for the last 6 years, and I just love your new digs. The work of the commission is very good. I see 50 West doing a great job. I'm just here to advocate for some citizens that are behind a road. If you're familiar with Silver Star and Kissimmee, north of Silver Star, where Quadro, that little road there, and then there's this Southeastern Food Bank.
It's a private drive. I know where you're going with it.
I just got shot in the heart.
I want to break your heart, but I tried to do something.
Well, you almost did. We serve the citizens by providing food from the food bank down there. 300 people every month. And so we pick up the food, we drive on that private drive. And so whenever we go on it, all that dust goes back into the houses that are back there. I just spoke with Michael Rumer. Apparently part of it is part of a problem of the county giving rights to the people to build the things back there.
Well, that's county property down there.
So my thing is for the people. They have to suck in all that dust. What can we as a city do to help them? Because the road is in our community and we drive it in every month to go, oh, he's back, to pick up food for these people. What can be done? I mean, can the Southeastern Food Bank pave it themselves? What is the legal process to get that road paved so the citizens don't have to keep sucking in that dust?
This is fortunate because the Public Works team, years ago, the right-of-way, it is actually a city right-of-way up through there
It's right-of-way.
to a point. It's the only unpaved road that I have to maintain in the entire city. So we were looking at what can we do to pave it, make life simple. The drainage requirements, it hits certain levels with permitting.
30, 50? That'd be 50, right? That's what he said.
Just however wide it is, we need a retention pond area in order to pave it because it's so much impervious area, the water's got to go somewhere. So we, probably about 8 years ago, when we talked to St. John's River Water Management, we were pretty much sent packing. It was like, all right, we don't have a solution for this. I challenged the team just about a month ago because I was realizing that's our one unpaved road with the changes at St. John's if we can't get creative with them and figure a way to do that. So we are working on it. I don't have a
Immediate
good
solution.
Yeah, I don't have I can't just pave it without getting in trouble. So we're working on it, but we got to find something that works with the environment and doesn't impact anybody else on down the line.
Okay.
So.
Good enough. Thank you, gentlemen.
Keep praying.
Since I'm up here, if I have any time, there's a property for sale right on the corner of, across from the U-Haul place at the gas station. Ocoee, Popka, and
Yeah, I know where you,
Okay. That
judge owns it.
old car dealer guy. I was told we were interested in purchasing the property for church, but I was told that the city will not allow it for church use. Is that correct?
You need to talk to that gentleman right back there. I will tell you, that's not the car guy, it's the judge, owns that. The car guy is with him, but Mr. Blackman owns it.
Okay. So, but to the point, is if it's a city, they'll go through you? Because we're doing good work in the city, and that would be a great spot for us to continue our work we're doing. We want to put a school there, which is needed for those who are not in the public school system, and a daycare. So it would not just be for church use.
In all zoning districts except for agricultural, a church school is a special exception. That property has a light industrial land use zoning, and it has the Franklin Street, Plant Street character overlay on top.
Yeah.
The vision is to provide for amenities, a retail restaurant, amenities in that area being so close to the interchange to the State Road 429, which has over 80,000 daily car trips a day. The issue with that property is it will not be able to have left turns into it heading north on McGuire into the property. The access really needs to be to the rear, where there's going to be a future type of a roundabout on Franklin Street, which will then they'll have a shopping center. It's a shopping center area. So you'd have to do a special exception to show that you're not going to harm the other properties in the area. And one of the things that you could limit what could happen in the shopping center by having a church and a school, you get an alcohol and restaurant positioning right there at the only property, the big main property at the interchange, in between a wildly popular downtown in Winter Garden and an up-and-coming downtown in Ocoee. And it's just tough to say that use is not going to provide some difficulties for the rest of that interchange to develop out. So it's just not the right place, but it comes to you all in a public hearing and a vote as a special exception, and they just got to provide documentation and show some of the elements that I just discussed.
All right.
Thank you, sir. We will hear thee again on this matter.
Okie dokie. All right, consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson to approve the consent agenda. Here's a second.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Oliver. Any more comments? No more comments. Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right, first reading of ordinance. First reading of ordinance for Fountains West PUD, second substantial amendment to Lot 8 of Fountains West PUD.
Yes, sir.
All right. You'll read it.
An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, approving the second substantial amendment to Lot 8 of the Fountains West PUD for certain real property comprising approximately 3.04 acres located on the north side of Fountains West Boulevard, approximately 3,442 feet north of West Road, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner, amending the maximum square footage for retail use, finding consistency with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, prevailing in the event of any inconsistency, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
All right, this was the first reading. It'll be open for public hearing 2 weeks. No, we're not meeting that 2 weeks, are we?
We're meeting July
When is-
16th.
July the 16th will be the next.
Yeah, because we have real meeting.
July the 16th it'll be brought back up. Okay, all right. second reading of ordinance, public hearing. Second reading of ordinance for 338 North Blueford Avenue, Rodriguez property, small-scale comprehensive plan, future land use map amendment from LDR, low density, residential, no, yep.
Yep.
That's it, residential to commercial, and corresponding rezoning from R-1AA, single-family dwelling, to C2, community commercial. All right.
All right, Mayor,
yes,
There
Mike
it is.
Rimmer, Development Services Director.
Do you want me to go ahead and read them, Mayor?
No, I'm gonna let him talk, and then I want you to
Got it.
read it, and then we'll open the public.
Real quick, this is just north of Silver Star on Blueford Avenue. The property on the corner, on the hard corner of Silver Star and Blueford will be the Rocket Ship Office Building. This is 2 parcels away. This area is low-density residential. It's in our downtown, so we're going to start transitioning these properties to a non-residential. This is just a straight zoning to a commercial, and it'll give them opportunity to start planning their business in the future in a building. So we're changing the land use from low-density residential to commercial and an associated rezoning. And so there's no proposal. It's not a large property, but in our downtown urban area, we're able to facilitate development of this. But as right now, this is just cleaning up the property, bringing it in line. It fronts an two arterial roads, and this is an area that's transitioning. To the rear, we have that Cumberland lift station we built for the commercial uses, and this is what's envisioned in the downtown master plan. Thank you.
All right, now.
Read them both, Mayor, comp plan and zoning.
Yeah.
An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending the City of Ocoee Comprehensive Plan as adopted in 1991 as amended, amending the future land use map of the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan to change the future land use map designation from low-density residential to commercial for certain real property containing approximately 0.44 acres located at 338 North Blueford Avenue. On the west side of North Blueford Avenue, approximately 334 feet north of East Silver Star Road, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city future land use map prevailing in the event of any inconsistency, providing for severability, providing for an effective date, and an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification from R-1AA, single-family dwelling district, to C-2, community commercial district, on certain real property containing approximately 0.44 acres located at 338 North Blueford Avenue on the west side of North Blueford Avenue, approximately 334 feet north of East Silver Star Road, finding said zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city zoning map prevailing in the event of any inconsistency, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
We need two different.
You have 2 votes.
2 votes.
Yes, sir.
All right, I need a motion for the first one for the,
Is it a public hearing?
yeah, public hearing. I said that, didn't I? So open it for the public hearing on item number 7. No comments. I'll close it and come back. We need 2 motion, well, first motion for the first part for the land use plan. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner First. Any more comments? Let's vote. All right, motion carries unanimously. Now I need a motion for the rezoning.
Yes, sir.
I'll be happy to make that motion.
All right, Commissioner Wilson made the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner First. Any more comments? No more comments? Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right. Number 8, second reading of ordinance for amendment to the Ocoee Land Development Code pertaining to Part 1A, Article 7, floodplain management.
Mayor, I'd like to start off, Mike Rimmer, Development Services Director, just to give you an introduction. We're talking about FEMA here, and so we're talking about updating our land development code with regards to FEMA requirements. And one of the reasons we're here today is the city has been able to enter into the community rating system, which is a system that FEMA has that allows jurisdictions, local governments, to meet very stringent requirements and be graded on what they're doing in order to prohibit, stop, and protect areas adjacent to floodplain lands in their jurisdiction. The CRS system is a very laborious process to enter and provide the documentation. As I'm sure you can understand, it's FEMA. And as the Development Services Director and having the floodplain manager located in my department for years, I've had staff look at it. I have met with FEMA with a staff member, and it was like, good luck. We not only had it, so Steve was able to hire a talented engineer that took it upon him as one of his duties to get us into the CRS system. He not only navigated all of those documents and as a new employee meeting with staff, figuring out who could answer what question, but he got us into the system. So we're one of, there's not many jurisdictions that have this, yes. And we're not only in the system, but now we're trying to get a better score to provide a more substantial discount to those properties in the city that developed years ago that are in the floodplain. And we have over 100, and also looking at ways to protect the city in the future. So we've amended building codes a few years ago. Now we're amending some land development criteria to help protect the city and get us a better score. And with that introduction, I'll introduce Anach Whitfield, which you know. And then Seth is the engineer that he deserves the accolades for getting us in the CRS system, and he's already on our way to get us a better score, and he'll describe that for you. Thank you.
Good evening, commissioners, audience. Thank you for sticking around this long. Okay, so as Mike mentioned, Seth and I, we're going to tag team this presentation. What we are looking to amend is Part 1A of Article 7. Right now, Article 7 has two parts. Part 1 is natural resource management, and Part 1A is floodplain. So we're tackling Part 1A. The issue is whether or not the city should adopt this ordinance, and it speaks to everything that Mike mentioned, increasing our city's class rating in the CRS and increasing our city's ability to improve flood resiliency for properties in the city, both those inside of the special flood hazard areas as well as properties outside of the special flood hazard areas. And I would like to lead into more of what Mike said. This is not just Seth and I looking at it together. There was 2 years of background work that was done before we even got to this point. So we have been working diligently with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection's Office of Floodplain Management, OFM, and this slide shows the national flood rating system, and we are now at a class 9, which gives our residents 5%. To get to that point, it was 2 years of staff work with Public Works, Development Services, and OFM. And in December 2023, on December 7th, we officially received an admittance into the National Flood Insurance Program at a Class 9. We right now have 1,341 points. That gives us the 5% discount. But it doesn't go into effect until this October 1 of 2024. So there's like a year lag, which I'll go into the process at the end of the presentation. So Development Services' role in this is because it lives in the LDC, we are helping to administer the code, but the technical expert is Seth here, our floodplains manager. So I'll be bouncing back and forth with him. So where we are now, like I mentioned, we have 1,341 points. We could classify as an 8, which you see here. 8 would get us 10%, but there is a prerequisite that is a code change that we could easily utilize by, this is a FEMA requirement, to remove any distinction or any differentiation between manufactured homes and mobile homes versus regular stick-built homes or homes built from the ground up. Right now, manufactured homes and mobile homes, they are required to be 36 inches above grade. That 36 inches, while it's 3 feet, that might still leave them below the base flood elevation. So they could still be vulnerable during flood situations. Removing the distinction between manufactured homes and regular homes puts all the buildings, regardless of the building construction type, in the same category, so everyone would be at that 2 feet above the base flood elevation. So it helps to protect those types of homes. Just making that one code change to remove that distinction gives us the ability to meet the prerequisite and utilize the 1,300 points that we currently have, and that gets us to a Class 8. Class 8 would get us double the discount that we currently have now that will go into effect on October 1st. So that's the first thing, utilizing our existing points. And then the next series of slides will be ways that we have proposed changes to the code in order to get the city additional points. So the next series of slides is covering that, and we have it based on what we're proposing to change and what the current code has. So the first topic area is something called cumulative substantial improvements. So right now we're proposing to look at the cost of reconstruction or the cost of repairs to damaged buildings over a cumulative period of 10 years, looking at it cumulatively instead of one at a time, and not adding them up. Just looking at it cumulatively does two things. One, it gets us 40 points. Two, it helps to sort of not have those repeat incidences where the incident is happening repetitively, because we're looking at it over the 10-year time period, and then at that point, that certain point, the whole property would have to come up to code. Right now, we don't have a cumulative time period. The next thing is that improvements, modifications, and additions to existing buildings are counted for 5 years, and that gets us 20 points. Again, there's no accumulation of periods. And then this one is important, and I'll just read this, but Seth's going to explain what this means. It's adding this language called increased cost of compliance. So there's regulatory language, and basically what they're asking us to do is just include this is a definition in our code. Right now, we don't have that definition in our code, and our residents don't have the ability to utilize the increased cost of compliance, where for each occurrence, they could get assistance of up to $30,000. So I'm going to bounce over to Seth and let him explain what that means.
Thank you, Anaj. Yeah, so if a resident suffers flood damage or they are improving their property and they reach the threshold of 49%, which is what we were proposing in one of the amendments to the floodplain management, residents will now be able to be eligible for increased cost of compliance, which is up to $30,000 if you have to now meet newer ordinance and codes to increase your flood resiliency and protect your property, which is not available currently because we do not have that in our flood ordinance, that necessary regulatory language.
Yes, thank you. The next one is a lower substantial improvement threshold. So currently in our code, we define substantial improvement being 50% of the value of the property. And the valuation was a question that was raised at the PCC hearing where the PCC asked who determines valuation. The requirements is that it is a certified third-party company, appraisal company that is vetted through the Orange County Property Appraiser's Office. So it's not someone's friend who can go out and do this estimation. It's regulated by FEMA as well through our Orange County Property Appraiser's Office. What we're proposing is to drop that threshold by 1%. So instead of reaching the need to bring the property to code at 50%, we're just dropping it or increasing it actually to 49%, and that 1% difference gives us a 20 points on the CRS. The next one is protection of critical facilities. So right now, in our current code, critical facilities are not differentiated between other structures. So what we're wanting to do is require that critical facilities are not allowed in the 500-year. And I just realized I printed a bunch of maps for you, which I left on the printer. My apologies. But what that map would show is all the existing 100-year and all of the very, very, very few 500-year flood zones. So those very few locations would be those locations where we're saying critical facilities are not allowed. The reason for that is that we're just trying to make sure that for those severe storm events, the path to the critical facilities for the people who are there, our emergency services getting there, and then getting them out, getting our, the residents out, so critical facilities are nursing homes, hospitals, fire stations, things like that, where we need to be able to respond to those sites, but we also need to be able to get people out of those sites and protect our emergency services personnel. You want to go into what their current code is in terms of the 100-year?
For critical facilities? Yeah, so currently we don't differentiate between normal construction and critical facilities. But as Anat said, we want to keep our critical facilities outside the 500-year floodplain. It increases, once again, the city's flood resiliency. And so you want to keep your hospitals, your fire departments, your police, where they are able to operate at 100% capacity and capability during a disaster. You don't want your hospital flooded during a flood, because then where are those patients going to go? You don't want your police department flooded, or you don't want your high school flooded, where you might have a shelter. Okay, so we're trying to protect those facilities with this 500-year floodplain keeping restriction, shall I say.
Yes, thank you. The next one is local drainage protection. So the city, there are wetlands, there are floodplains, there are designated drainage ways or canals. Some people like to refer to them as ditches. It sounds better when you call it a canal as opposed to a ditch. We are, currently the code doesn't have, it's not codified, like how we protect these drainage ways and resources isn't codified. And what we're proposing is that the lowest finished floor be 18 inches above the crown of the adjacent road for structures, right?
For buildings, yeah.
For buildings. We also are wanting to do lot drainage. Let's see, so 40 points. Clearly, I'm not the technical expert on this, so I'm going to defer to Seth to talk about this slide.
Yeah, so we have a couple amendments that we already do here in the city, but as Anat said, we're wanting to codify them. One is keeping structures built above the roadway. Another is to have drainage away from the structure rather than towards it. And the final is, yes, positive drainage away. And yes. So even if you're not in a flood zone, you don't want your house to be built in a valley per se. So these higher building regulations that we actually already implement, but we're codifying, is just making sure that the house is built above the adjacent grade next to you. So the drainage is positively away from the building rather than towards your front door, or towards the road rather than away from the road and towards your front door.
Yeah. So it's currently being looked at as a matter of staff process when they look at projects as they come in from Public Works, but now we're just codifying it in the code so that we can get 120 points. So those are changes where we can identify a specific number of points. So if the commission were to approve those specific code changes, that would get us 300 additional points for a possibility of 1,641 points. That would take us into Class 7, which provides 15% discounts to those property owners who have insurances in properties that are inside of the special flood hazard area, and then still 5% for those properties who are outside of special flood hazard areas that also have the insurance. Other standards that we're wanting to do, so in this one, it's higher standards for protecting the carrying capacity of drainage ways, both inside and outside of special flood hazard areas. We're kind of on the fence as to how many points we could possibly get. The maximum is 100, so currently the city's only protecting the 25-year, 24-hour storm conveyance capacity, and I want to, this, if you can see my mouse, this comment right here is really important. I want to give Seth the opportunity to explain the significance of this.
Yeah, so we're proposing to increase the protection of a drainage way to a 100-year flood carrying capacity, because there are portions of the city that do flood due to a throttle point per se on the stream. We have one in the West Orange industrial area along Roper Road, and then we have a different type of flood drainage improvement that we're about to undergo along Thornbrook with some erosion problems. So these two projects could be avoided if we protect our drainage ways by keeping them in their natural form, or making sure that they are able to carry the floodwaters of large storms such as a Hurricane Ian or Hurricane Irma, as you may be familiar with.
Yeah, so just to go into a little bit of the details on the, this is just a large topic area, but some of the code changes, right now, if it's left open, then the water can continue to go at its natural rate. But if it is enclosed, like with a culvert or something like that, then for certain areas, we would require that the culvert be big enough so that if there is a large storm event, then the water that is under the ground that's already, in a pipe with surface, with concrete or whatnot in front, on top of it, as the water comes through, it can still maintain that flow because the culvert isn't so tiny.
Yes, an open flow channel, pretty much.
And then in recognition of those properties that are already developed, what we're looking at is maintaining, when improvements come in, a minimum 5-foot buffer from the drainage ways, so that, that we're not encroaching on that drainage way. We're protecting it with vegetation, so we're keeping the erosion at bay by leaving those plantings in place. So what staff is proposing has language that deals with untouched areas, planned areas, or areas that have already been impacted. If we get the maximum 100 points, that would place us just 259 points away from Class 6. That would give our residents a 20% discount. And then for those properties outside of the special flood areas, this is the point at which they would get the additional 5%, so bringing them up to 10%. So these are the code changes that we've looked at so far. There are other things that we can do as a city to get us points. And Seth is going to discuss all of the outreach and other things that we're doing that are not specifically code related that can continue to get us points.
Thank you. Yeah, the city does a number of other projects to gather more points under the community rating system within the National Flood Insurance Program under FEMA, including outreach. So we have started partnering with the West Orange Branch Library, and we do quarterly events with them. We did a teach-in at Spring Lake Elementary School. We have started up the Spring into Conservation once again. We attended the ASCE Spring Icebreaker just 3 weeks ago down at the Orlando Science Center, which was great. And so we're just kind of reaching out to other like minds and teaching our residents, even the kids at a young age, because starting young is the best place to begin, teaching them how to better care for their own community and how to protect themselves from floods and hurricane and disasters. In addition to a big chunk of the points are also available by protecting and keeping floodplains open within the city, and we are currently in the process of mapping all of those areas. And higher regulations, such as Anach has described thoroughly throughout this presentation, are another source of improved points, which we can, if we find more, we can add them to the Land Development Code as they continue to revise the LDC.
Yes. So some of the implications of this is that when new projects come in, and let's say the property has any significant environmental resources or properties or areas on the property that deserve to be protected, if we can negotiate with the developer to set aside those spaces, we can map those out and then place easements on them. And then we can add those acreages to our open space protection that goes towards our floodplain acreage numbers, and that'll help to give us more points. Just as a little bit of background before we go into the general changes, Seth looked at the United States wide in terms of other states and counties and cities that are participating. And out of all of this, there are, in Florida, 263 cities that are participating. I'm sorry, Yes, in Florida, 263 cities. 77 of those, or 29.3%, are at a Class 6. So the majority of them, well, not majority, 30% of Florida's cities that are participating are already at Class 6. This will hopefully get us to Class 7, and we're going to continue working really hard to get us to Class 6 so that we can be amongst that number to get our residents 20%. So that was just a few numbers I wanted to share. Some other general code changes that don't give us points, it's just reorganizing the floodplain section to be more reader-friendly and user-friendly, moving the definitions up to section 7-2, which is where definitions is in the first part of this article, and then making all of the corresponding renumbering adjustments. And then we are adding some additional provisions relative to permitting and how those permits are done, and then matching that with the technical amendments that's needed with the Florida Building Code and our Chapter 51 of our Building Code section. In terms of process, we have to maintain the rating for 1 year in order to be eligible for a class rating change the following cycle. So the cycle opens in April, the re-verification process. It's a lengthy process. So for us, the current Class 9 goes into effect October 1 of this year. The re-verification opens in April 2025, which means that if the commission adopts this, then it puts us in a good position to go into that re-verification in 2025 so that we can hopefully get the award of Class 7 in October of 2025. So, so that's the whole ordinance. It went to the Planning and Zoning Commission on May 14th. As I mentioned, they discussed valuation and some cost benefits, and we can certainly bore you with some cost benefit numbers that Seth pulled up from other areas in the state. A significant note is that right after this item went to P&Z on May 14th, we received an email from the Office of Floodplain Management saying that the draft ordinance that is before this commission now looks good to them, so they didn't see any more red flags. This is after a year of going back and forth with their office, and with that, we are asking for approval of the ordinance to adopt the floodplain changes. And any questions? Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah. Sorry if you think it's boring, but I want to know how many critical facilities are going to be impacted that you've identified between the 100 and the 500-year floodplain, and what the cost is, and what your estimate of the 10% of the savings on the insurance program is.
Mm-hmm. Great question. So currently, the city has no critical facilities in the 500-year floodplain, which is beneficial to us. But we want to protect future development that they're not in the 500-year and put them at risk for any big storms. As we know, they are kind of increasing in frequency and severity, and we want to make sure that the facilities that we really need in a disaster period before, during, and after are available to the community. And then...
And what is your estimate of... So there's no cost to us because we don't have any facilities.
Correct,
in the
nothing has to be relocated.
And so what is the benefit? I think it's important. I think the citizens want to know.
Mm-hmm.
What is the benefit that we're providing with this discount? What's your estimate of the total dollar amount that we're returning to our citizens?
Great question. Based on some information I was able to obtain in 2022, the average flood insurance cost for an Ocoee resident is about $550. Now, FEMA did pass the rating, risk rating 2.0 in that year, and so some residents may have seen a price hike in their flood insurance. Now, the CRS program is built to help ease the burden of flood insurance costs for those residents who, one, have to get one in order to get a mortgage, or two, have flood insurance in order to protect themselves outside the flood zone. So our current status at Class 9, as Anush said, gets everyone 5% discount off of their flood insurance if they have it with the National Flood Insurance Program. If with this amendment to the floodplain management ordinance, we are increasing the city's flood resiliency, and we will also be eligible for citizens to be able to get 10% off their flood insurance with the National Flood Insurance Program if they live in the floodplain and maintain their 5% off their flood insurance outside the floodplain? Great question. And with these additional higher regulatory standards that we're including in this revision, we should be able to bump the city up to class 7, which, as Anash mentioned, is 15%. So 15% off of $550 that you would pay a year, while individually it may not seem a lot, cumulatively throughout the entire city, it does add up to thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. And by increasing the city's flood resiliency, we're also protecting them from repetitive flood loss. And so that's not only their structure, but also your contents. And by having some of these higher regulatory standards, we're minimizing and reducing, hopefully, your repetitive losses of properties that are in the floodplain or might be damaged from a flood, and so they don't have to deal with that as much.
And then with the inclusion of the increased cost of compliance, there's dollars that are federally, federal dollars that can be up to $30,000 to help those residents deal with those costs, additional costs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's our pleasure. We're really just trying to protect the community and provide them more savings on insurance that they may be required to get or feel that they would like to get in this very disaster-prone state.
All right, is that it? That's it. Anybody else? It was really interesting. You're gonna have to, wait, you gotta wait to open the public hearing. Oh, sorry. All right. Let's see. Oh, I need a motion. No, I need to open it for the, you gotta read anything?
No, sir.
I'm gonna open
We already
it.
read the ordinance.
There's an
All right,
ordinance.
I'm gonna open it, huh?
There's an ordinance.
I think I read it right.
I don't remember.
I don't think
I
you
can't
read it.
remember now.
I don't think so.
All right,
I don't think
I'll
you
read
read
it
it.
for,
I do have a comment.
go ahead and read it, Mayor.
Yeah.
An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending the City of Ocoee Land Development Code, Article Roman 7, Part 1A, relating to floodplain management, specifically with regards to elevation of manufactured homes and critical facilities in flood hazard areas, substantial damage and substantial improvement development activity within flood hazard and special flood hazard areas, and provisions for drainage, providing for applicability, conflict, and severability, and providing for an effective date.
All right, now I'm gonna open the public hearing. Fill out another form.
Come on down.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
You mentioned a lot of code revisions, but what I'm not hearing is how will these code regulations impact the cost of building? And will that increase the cost of the people who are actually redesigning how the houses are elevated? Won't that affect the overall cost? It's like you win here and you lose here. Could you speak to that?
Of course. May I use this one? Or I'll
Yeah,
use this one?
yeah.
Okay. Great question. So the question is do these revisions increase the costs for developers? And the city already has a freeboard of 2 feet that we implement, and we already don't allow construction of structures within the floodplain unless they provide a letter of map revision fill to FEMA. So a lot of these are revisions that we're making are already in place with the city. We're already doing them, but we're putting them in code down in our ordinance. So we're able to get points through the community rating system to get our residents discounts on their flood insurance. Now, the increased cost to someone who maybe already has a building built in 1970, if they would be affected by substantial damage or substantial improvement. Already in our ordinance, if they reach a 50% threshold of substantial damage or substantial improvement, they'd have to bring their building up to code. Say they maybe don't have the right grading around their house, or it's too low, it's below the 2-foot freeboard. They'd have to bring it up, and that would be a cost to them. But Anash and I have put into this revision language where they would also be eligible for $30,000 that they would not be eligible for before. And then the question to you guys that you have to ask yourselves, do you want to, if The difference between 50% and 49% is one of the changes we're doing. Otherwise, 50% is already in our ordinance. The question is it significant enough that you wouldn't want to increase the flood resiliency of your property and risk another flood in the future, not knowing when that may be? It may be tomorrow, it might be this hurricane season, or it might be in 10 hurricane seasons, or it might be a random storm like Fort Lauderdale got last year and got like 3 feet of rain in like an hour. So the cost is negligible to what's already in the code and what we are already implementing throughout the city.
Yep.
Good question, thank you.
All right. I need we close the public hearing, bring it back up here. I need a motion on number 8 for the amendment to the Ocoee Land Development Code.
I'll make it.
Motion made by Commissioner, what's your name? Kennedy.
Number 1 in your program?
Yeah. Do I hear a second?
That's your name first.
Second. Do I hear a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second, Commissioner Oliver. All right. No more comments. Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
All right, no public hearing, no regular agenda. Comments from commissioners. Commissioner Kennedy.
All right. Most of my comments were covered in the meeting. I really appreciated the Metro Plan representatives and their presentation, and it was fascinating to hear that they've already responded to the issue on Ocoee-Apopka Road and the recent fatality. That's terrific. There's another issue with speed signs and radar signs, and I'm working with staff on getting more of the radar speed signs like you see on Ocoee, Clarkona, Ocoee, possibly on Ocoee-Apopka, working with the county and getting quotes and seeing what we can do there. We're continuing. I got an update today on our traffic study of the worst road Adair situation there. Now that traffic is settling down to new patterns, that required a new study, so we're still looking to do something at the intersection at Adair and Worst Road. But it's nice to see that these issues are getting some traction and we're finally starting to see some improvement. One issue which is on the agenda was mentioned. It was item 6, the first reading of the ordinance for changes to the Fountains West PUD. I've received a lot of emails and comments. There was substantial comment from citizens at the P&Z meeting. That's great. I would encourage you, if you have an opinion for or against that project, to reach out not only to me, but to all the commissioners and let them know the issues as you see them with that issue. We'll be addressing that July 16th, and I'll have further comment at that time. I did receive the small box retail design standards from staff that I requested at the last meeting, and I hope each commissioner received those and reviewed those because they're pertinent to that item. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Did you write that letter they're sending out?
No, sir, I did not. I had nothing to do with it.
Okay, Commissioner Wilson.
Thank you. September 14th, please mark your calendars. We will be having another shred event in the city of Ocoee. It'll be held at the police department between 9 and 11:30 a.m. So again, that is hosted by the Ocoee Police Department in conjunction with the Ocoee Lions Club and the Ocoee Women's Club. We are not, happy 4th of July. I'm going to keep it very brief. How's that?
That is?
That's it. I'm there.
Okay.
I know that's amazing for me.
Commissioner Firstman.
I invite everybody to come out on July 4th for the block party that we're having. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Bill Breeze Park. Should be a lot of fun. Also, I'm very pleased to see the fire department taking delivery of the new 70-foot aerial platform. If you don't know, it's going to increase the city's resources and capabilities in the fire department dramatically. It's also going to add to our service level for ISO, which is #1 already, and it's going to help us to stay there. And also for accreditation, it's going to keep us up on top. Man, that's all I have.
Commissioner Oliver?
Okay, I'll try to get through this as quickly as I possibly can. Summer has kicked off, and as you all noticed, the temperatures are going up quite a bit. And I'm going to give you just some summer safety tips for seniors this time. So, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, seniors are more susceptible to heat-related illness and injury. When we age, our bodies become less efficient at regulating temperatures because older adults do not sweat as much as young adults. And sweat is the body's most important regulating mechanism. Older adults also store fat differently, which can further complicate heat-related body stress.
You're hitting some hard points here.
I'm sorry, but they give you 6 tips here. So one, they say stay hydrated, wear light and loose clothing, know the effects of your medication, and make sure that you update your emergency contacts in your phone. Also, stay cool as possible, and know the weather forecast. So tomorrow we will be celebrating Juneteenth, and I just want to give you some information about Juneteenth, some historical information about Juneteenth. And it reads, on Freedom's Eve, or the eve of January 1st, 1863, the first watch night service took place. On that night, enslaved and free African Americans gathered in churches and private homes all across the country, awaited news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. At the stroke of midnight, prayers were answered, as all enslaved people in Confederate states were declared legally free. Union soldiers, many of whom were black, marched into plantations and across cities in the South, reading small copies of the Emancipation Proclamation, spreading the news of freedom in Confederate states. Only through the 13th Amendment did emancipation end slavery throughout the United States. But not every Confederate territory would immediately be free. Even though the Emancipation Proclamation was made effective in 1863, it could not be implemented in all places still under Confederate control. As a result, the westmost Confederate states of Texas, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came in June 19th of 1865, when some 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that some more than 250,000 enslaved black people in the state were freed by executive decree. This day became known as Juneteenth by the newly freed people in Texas. Juneteenth is more than just a national holiday. It serves as a reminder of our shared responsibility to uphold the principles of liberty, justice, and equality for all. It is a time for us to reflect on the progress we've made and the work that lies ahead, not just in the nation, but in our communities. I encourage you to read more about the history and the importance of the significant day and the impact on our society. And before I leave, in conclusion, I will leave you with this. I'll say this. If you must look back, do so forgivingly. If you must look forward, do so prayerfully. However, the wisest thing you can do is to be present in the present gratefully. And that was Maya Angelou. I'll leave back to the commission.
All right. That about the sweating ain't right. I went to a wedding last weekend. I went to a wedding in St. Augustine a week ago. We're outside on the waterway with no buildings, no tarp tents. Whew. So I lost 10 pounds of water. Just to let you know, and I watched a lot of those young people, they didn't look like they sweated. So I just tell you, that ain't true. So, huh?
I read everything you said that, no, I'm not old, I'm not that old, I guess.
I am, but it's all right. But I'm telling you, we need I need a voting delegate. As a mayor, I usually do it, but we have to do one here. So for the convention, August the 15th through the 17th. So consensus for me doing it or not?
As long as you're gonna be there, I have no problem.
I was there last year.
I know, that's why.
The year before.
And the year before that.
Yep, I'll be there.
I think it's great.
Okay.
He has to vote for the Florida League of Cities.
Yep, the voting delegate. All right. All that talking. Let's see. I guess you were talking about, Scott, the intersection of Adair and Worth Road, right? They have to do a check on that, and we'll have to do it on that other one too, I know, so. There's something else too, and I keep bringing this up at the meetings, and downtown is not safe with the businesses there at night. And I know the police come out every now and then, but they're not ever there when they're doing 60 miles an hour through downtown where there's businesses and people walking and children, and they go right on through the stop sign. They just don't even stop. So we have got to figure out something, Steve. Those things you put in, they don't do anything. I don't think an ant would even bump when he went over. So, I mean, it's just, they're not even good. So we got to figure something out about the, whatever you call them. But, yeah, it's got to be something that can make people know they're in a district where it's happening. Now that the railroad tracks are gone, they're a little faster than they were before. So we've got to fix that. And, yeah, and everybody needs to think about what we're gonna do, and I know, parking's the problem. We did the one we tracked up there off of McKee Street, but we have got to have parking. We need more parking in our city. And with the centennial thing coming, with the things that we're gonna be doing, we need to make sure we have the parking. The other thing is code enforcement. I think the code enforcement people have got to get out and write up. I don't know, I understand our new system is that if they don't call, they don't write it up. Then we don't need code enforcement of more than one or two to sit there and answer the thing. So if we got 4 code enforcement officers, they need to be out looking, not waiting for somebody to call in a complaint. Craig, I don't know where that theory come from. And Saturdays. Saturdays is the worst. So we used to do it on Saturdays, and all of a sudden, somebody decided to cut that out. Now, there's 4 of them, they alternate Saturdays, that one a Saturday. So this system, whatever happened, and they changed it, I don't know who did that, but, huh?
Legislature.
On code enforcement not working on Saturdays?
No.
No, I'm not talking about who's talking, I'm talking about us, not working and doing it. The thing is, they're not, they told me that somebody has to call in and complain. They got to go out. Now the signs are all over town again. Everywhere you go, there's one of those yard signs and everything else. We're not in there riding around, pick them up. Even the city manager picks them up. Not you, I know you will be when you get there too. But I mean, truthfully now, I mean, we got to do it. But once again, think the school's out. Safety is a big word anyway, because these children are out riding. Students are out riding their bicycles and riding skateboards and everything else. So let's all be careful and push to make sure we have the safety. And we're still working on getting the county to turn over Ocoee Popka Road to us. Right, Craig?
Yes, sir. We are reviewing the draft basic agreement that the county gave us. We also have had a staff level meeting with the county regarding the sports complex, and we have additional meetings set to discuss that in the same context.
All right. One other thing, and you need to get this and do something about this. I'll leave it with you. It was a public, it was given, I thought he was here. It was given to me for during the public comments. But you need to read it, and somebody has to, have you read it? About a problem at the tennis court.
That, I'm very well aware of that complaint, and it is being addressed.
All right. Yeah, okay, that's what I want to know. I won't keep anybody any longer. Thanks, everybody, for being here. We'll see you the 16th of July.